Some facts about our world sound so strange that they seem completely made up. But in reality, they are absolutely true, from countries located inside other countries to animals that can live for hundreds of years. Here are 15 facts that sound fake, but are actually true. Fact 1. Imagine a country that is completely surrounded by another country. It has its own government, its own flag, a capital city, and millions of people living there. But if you look closely at a map, you'll notice something very unusual. It has no access to the sea, and it doesn't share a border with any other country in the world. Instead, it is surrounded on all sides by just one nation. And yes, such a country really exists. It's Lesotho, a small country located entirely inside South Africa. Countries like this are called enclaves, and there are only a few of them in the world. Fact 2. Octopuses are considered some of the strangest creatures on the planet. They have no bones. They can squeeze through incredibly tiny openings, and they are known for their remarkable intelligence. But their most surprising feature is hidden inside their bodies. Most animals have just one heart that pumps blood throughout the body, but the octopus is very different. It actually has 3 hearts. 2 of them pump blood through the gills to collect oxygen, while the third pumps blood through the rest of the body. And here's the strangest part. When an octopus swims, one of its hearts actually stops beating. Fact 3. When people think about the largest cities in the world, they often imagine huge capitals like New York or London. But there is one megacity that is far larger than most cities on Earth. In fact, its population is bigger than the population of many entire countries. If you combine the city and all of its surrounding suburbs into one massive metropolitan area, the result is enormous. That city is Tokyo. More than 37 million people live in the Tokyo metropolitan area. That makes it the most populated urban region in the world. Fact 4. There are thousands of volcanoes on Earth. Most of them stay dormant for hundreds or even thousands of years, and some erupt only a few times in their entire history. But there is one volcano that behaves very differently. It is so active that people can watch eruptions almost every single day. This volcano is called Mount Yasur, located on the island of Tanna in Vanuatu. It has been erupting almost continuously for hundreds of years. Local residents even consider it one of the most accessible active volcanoes in the world because tourists can safely watch its eruptions from nearby viewpoints. Fact 5. When we think about ancient animals, many people immediately imagine dinosaurs, but there are creatures that appeared on Earth long before dinosaurs even existed. These predators were already swimming in the oceans when there were barely any trees on land. They are sharks. The first sharks appeared around 400 million years ago. For comparison, the first true trees appeared about 350 million years ago, which means sharks existed on Earth before trees did. Fact 6. When people hear the word desert, they usually imagine hot sandy places like the Sahara. But a desert is not defined by temperature. It's defined by how little precipitation it receives. And by that definition, the largest desert on Earth looks very different from what most people imagine. It's Antarctica. Even though the continent is covered in ice, it receives extremely little precipitation. That's why Antarctica is considered the largest desert on the planet. Fact 7. In most countries, snakes can be found in forests, deserts, and sometimes even near cities. But there is one large island where snakes are almost impossible to find. That island is Ireland. There are no native snake species anywhere on the island. According to legend, snakes were driven away by St. Patrick, but scientists believe the real explanation is much simpler. After the last ice age, snakes simply never managed to reach the island. Fact 8. Our brain may seem small compared to the rest of the body, but it requires an enormous amount of energy to function. Although the brain makes up only about 2% of the body's weight, it uses around 20% of the body's total energy. This makes the human brain one of the most energy-demanding organs in the body. That's why thinking, learning, or solving complex problems can sometimes make us feel mentally exhausted. Fact 9. Meteor impacts often seem like something that only happens in movies. But throughout Earth's history, huge space rocks have collided with our planet, leaving behind massive craters. One of the most famous examples is located in the United States. About 50,000 years ago, a large meteorite roughly 50 meters wide crashed into the ground in what is now the state of Arizona. The impact was so powerful that it created a crater more than 1.2 kilometers wide and nearly 170 meters deep. Today, this site is known as Meteor Crater. It is one of the best preserved meteor impact craters on Earth. Fact 10. When people talk about long-living animals, they often mention turtles or whales. But there is one creature that may live far longer. It's the Greenland shark. These mysterious sharks live in the icy waters of the Arctic Ocean and grow extremely slowly. Scientists have discovered that some of them can live for up to 400 years. This means that some Greenland sharks swimming today may have been born in the 17th century. Fact 11. When we think of volcanoes, we usually imagine huge mountains spewing lava, but most volcanoes are located in places humans almost never see. Hidden deep beneath the oceans are thousands of underwater volcanoes. Scientists estimate that about 75% of all volcanoes on Earth are actually located underwater. Some of them form enormous mountain chains stretching for thousands of kilometers across the ocean floor, and sometimes eruptions from these volcanoes even create entirely new islands. Fact 12. When people compare the sizes of countries and planets, planets usually seem far larger, but there is one comparison that sounds almost unbelievable. The total area of Russia is about 17 million square kilometers. Meanwhile, the surface area of the dwarf planet Pluto is around 16.7 million square kilometers, which means Russia is actually slightly larger than Pluto. Fact 13. Ants are some of the smallest creatures we see almost every day, but despite their size, they are incredibly strong. An ant can lift objects up to 50 times its own body weight. To imagine this more clearly, if humans had the same strength relative to their size, we would be able to lift cars. This is why ants can carry food pieces that look impossibly large compared to their tiny bodies. Fact 14. At first glance, the game of chess seems fairly simple. There are only 64 squares and 32 pieces. But behind this simple board lies an incredible level of complexity. The number of possible chess games is so enormous that it's almost impossible to comprehend. Scientists call this the Shannon number, and it is roughly 10 to the power of 120 possible combinations. For comparison, that number is greater than the estimated number of atoms in the observable universe. Fact 15. When people talk about the largest animals in history, many immediately think of dinosaurs, but the largest animal to ever live on Earth is alive today. It's the blue whale. Blue whales can grow up to 30 meters long and weigh more than 180 tons. Their hearts are roughly the size of a small car, and their tongues can weigh as much as an elephant. This makes the blue whale the largest animal that has ever existed on our planet. Our world is far stranger and more fascinating than it may seem at first. Today we learned that sharks existed before trees, that some countries are located entirely inside other countries, and that certain animals can live for hundreds of years. And these are just a few of the incredible facts about our planet. Which fact surprised you the most? Write the number of the fact in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoy videos like this and want to discover even more amazing facts about our world, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There are many more incredible stories about our planet coming soon. See you in the next video.